Zhu Dequan, a Chinese diplomat who is most well known for his accounts of the Angkor temple complexes during his visit to the Khmer Empire, was sent to hold a mission in Cambodia in 1296. He wrote a book titled The Customs of Cambodia. In addition, he also described many temples in the region. One temple was written that the northern lake lies 1.25 miles to the north of the walled city. At its center stands a square tower of gold with several dozen stone rooms. If you are looking for gold lions, bronze elephants, bronze oxen, bronze horses, here is where you will find them. Which Khmer temple did he mean? What are the facts of this temple? What is its history behind? Khmer Temple Signature is presenting you all about it right now. Neak Pean or Neak Pean, which means the entwined serpents, located at Angkor Archaeological Site in the Kingdom of Cambodia, is an artificial island with a Hindu temple on a circular island in the northern Barai or Jeyatada Barai, the last of the great reservoir to be built in Angkor, which was associated with Prakan Temple, built in the late 12th century in Bayon style under the reign of King Jeyawarman VII. Generally known as Neak Pean, but it has its own original name, Ritchasray, the fortune of the kingdom, reference to the stele of Prakan. Built of sandstone and laterite on a lake, this temple was originally dedicated to Buddha Avalokitesvara. Ritchasray was originally designed for medical purposes. The ancients believed that going to these pools will balance the elements in the bath, thus curing disease. It is one of the many Arogsala, which means a hall or building without illness, a hospital, where patients travel by boat to find treatment at the site that King Jeyawarman VII constructed. It is based on the ancient Hindu belief of balance. Four connected pools represent water, earth, fire, and air. Each is connected to the central water source, the main tank, by a stone conduit presided over by one of four great animals, namely elephant, bull, horse, and lion. Originally, four sculptures stood on the floor of the lake as described by Zhu Dequan earlier. However, the only remaining statue is that of the horse Balaha. Neak Pean Temple became known from the start of the archaeological research of Cambodia in 1866, but the site was cleared by Pharaoh in 1873 till 1874. After the clearance, the restoration project led by Henry Marshall started from 1922 to 1924, and Maurice Grace carried on the job from 1938 to 1939. There was a large Buddha tree engulfed the central tower, but it was destroyed by a strong storm in 1935. In 1911, Lunet de la Jonquière, a French archaeologist, an explorer to Angkor, said the only two remaining statues were found in the site: the human head in the eastern chamber and the elephant head in the northern chamber. However, the horse head was found by Zhang the Meganame in May 1912, and the head of lion was found by Henry Marshall in 1922. And because of the archaeological research, he found another statue, the Bodhisattva Alokeswara. Not different from East Barai and West Barai, each with their Mabon. On Barai of Prakan, North Barai was also designed with an island in its center. Although Rijyasrai was constructed on the island, we can reach the temple through a 200 by 3 meters artificial wooden bridge causeway. Built on an area about 350 meters per side in the middle of Jaitada Barai, comprising 13 dry pools. 5 have been restored now. Nippon is a gem in Angkor. This monument has 4 laterite dikes located on each cardinal point. The temple of Rijyasrai is set in a large square man-made pool measuring 70 meters per side, bordered by sandstone steps and surrounded by 4 smaller square ponds. A small circular island with a step base for the shrine dedicated to the Buddha. Small elephants sculpted in the round originally stood on the 4 corners of the pond. There are 4 small prasads built of laterite on each sub-directions to house Buddha statues, and it is said that each was used by the patients or pilgrims before going to be cured in the 4 small chambers. The body of 2 serpents encircle the base of the island, and their tails entwined on the west side, and the heads of the serpent are separated to allow passage on the east. The modern name of this temple is derived from the sculpture near, being the Khmer rendering of the Sanskrit Naga. It is this configuration that gave the name of entwined serpents to the temple. A blooming lotus surrounds the pool of the platform, while lotus petals decorate the base. In one of Jutakwan notes, he wrote Nippon was like a rich mirror colored by the stones, the gold, and the garlands. This pool, of which the water is lit by the light of the golden prasad, colored by the red of the lotuses, shimmers in evoking the image of the sea of blood spilled by the Bhagavat. On the interior, there was an island taking its charm from the ponds which surrounded, clearing the mud of sin of those who came in contact with it, and serving as a boat to cross the ocean of existence. In the central artificial island, 2 Nagas, Dayananda and Apananda, 2 Nagas traditionally associated with Lake Anavatata, encircle the base structure of the circular temple, raise their heads to the east, and the tails coiling at the west, representing the religious unities between Hinduism and Buddhism. The idealist states that the head of the Nagas evoked the two different religions, Hinduism and Buddhism, and the entangled tales representing the unity with compassionable intimacy to build and develop the society and the country together through the followers of these two religions during the reign of King Jayavarman VII, explained His Excellency Som Prumani, led Secretary of State of Ministry of Tourism, Cambodia, in 2008. King Jayavarman VII successfully built and maintained peace, political and social stability by the sympathies between the two religions, even though he had changed Mahayana Buddhism to the religion of state. The central tower was built to represent the summit of Mount Himalaya where gods resided. Actually, the temple was cruciform with doors on the four sides. Later, the doors were closed and elephants were placed at the corners, making the temple round. The central sanctuary opens to the east, and the three false doors are decorated with large standing images of Alokeswara facing north, south, and west. The pediments depict episodes of the life of the Buddha. Facing east, a scene of Buddha cutting off his hair. Facing north, the scene of his departure from his father's palace. Facing west, the Buddha in meditation protected by a serpent under the Bodhi tree, while that on the south is unrecognizable. Just to the east of the island, the statue of a flying horse rising from the water, clinging to its tail and its flanks is a group of men. The horse, Balaha, is a manifestation of the compassionate Bodhisattva Alokeswara, who has transformed himself into a horse to rescue Simlaha, a merchant, and his companions of misfortune. They were shipwrecked on an island of Sri Lanka and snatched by a female of Crisis. This figure was found in fragments and partially reassembled by the EFEO, the École Française d'Extrême-Orient, in the 1920s. The sculpture has been badly vandalized, and most of the heads and limbs of the figure are missing. Some archaeologists and scholars believe that Neak Pean is a representation of the famed lake Anavatata, a mystical lake in the Himalayas where the divine beings bathed, and which was the fountainhead of the four great rivers of India. Thus, the Two Nagas are the king and queen of the lake, whose waters were used to consecrate the Chakravartin, the universal sovereign. King Jayavarman VII therefore gave his kingdom a lake that not only had healing properties, but also was the source of royal power. There are four small chapels that have vaulted roofs and back onto the main pond, then open onto four small ponds, measuring 25 meters per side, with sandstone steps leading to the water. These four ponds are arranged in a cross shape around the main central pond, and at the axis are four vaulted edifices added in the later period. Across the rear and standing images of Lokeswara known as Paishyat Guru, meaning medicine master. Commonly referred to as the medicine Buddha, he is described as a doctor who cures suffering using the medicine of his teachings. The interior of the vault is decorated with a lotus and a central water spout in the form of animal and human in the middle. The four buildings served a ceremonial function where pilgrims could absolve themselves of their sins. They anointed themselves with the lustral water which flowed through the four mouths of the animals and a human from the spout connected to the central pond. Each chapel served different functions. In the North Chapel, the elephant head is the representation of water. In the East Chapel has a feature of human head and symbolizes the element of the earth. While in the South Chamber, the lion head sprinkling water on the eel evoked the fire. And in the one to the west, a horse head is the emblem of the air. The fifth cosmic element, space, was probably alluded to be the central sanctuary. The Buddha on the east pediment of the North Chapel has been transformed into a linga, probably under the rule of King Jayavarman VIII during the religious change. The context here would seem to be that of traditional Indian medicine, Ayurveda, according to which the balanced composition of the elements in the human structure is fundamental, and many excess or flow in one of them may bring about illness. Hence, the water puring the pool, which was connected to the defective element. A popular pilgrimage site, Richasrai, is described with a wealth of detail in the stele of the Prakhan, which informs us that the images of 14 gods and not less than 1,000 lingas were placed there, which by no means is in conflict with the Buddhist character of the site, but on the contrary asserts its universal and conciliatory character along faiths of Khmer Empire. Restoration and clearance projects and the initial research of the site were carried on by Henry Marshall and Maurice Grace during 1924 to 1938. More recently, in 2022, Apsara Authority completed further restoration works along with the completion of the no access bridge for visitors. In mid-June 2024, the Apsara National Authority successfully completed the restoration project of the East Chapel of the temple, a project that took nearly 2 months. Following this accomplishment, the restoration team has turned its focus to the Northern Chapel, which is now undergoing essential repairs. It does not take long to explore Neak Pean, and if you have more time in Siem Reap, there is a nice and scenic nature trail that takes you around the outer edge of the island with wooden bunk seats to enjoy a peaceful view over the waters of the Barai and watch the birds hunting for their daily living. The trail starts near the newly restored landing on the northern side, following the outer edge where you can see the laterite retaining wall of the island. More interesting, you can see the 4 dikes built of laterite in the main 4 directions. Nippon serene setting, ancient symbolism, united religions, and unique design make it a captivating destination for visitors exploring the wonders of Angkor.